Hello, I'm Nitin Dahad with the Times, and I'm here at the Silicon Labs booth at Embedded World in Nuremberg, and with Daniel Cooley. Hello, Daniel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Well, yeah, this is our annual get-together, and for the embedded industry, but for us as well. What's new here? I think I always ask you this question to start with.
Well, I think the big thing at the show you're seeing everywhere is machine learning.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time. You're seeing a lot of products now being launched with it. It's in one of our demos behind me, actually. ML is everywhere, kind of what wireless was 5 or 7 years ago.
And you've launched a new chip as well.
Yeah, our latest chip, the XG26, it's really built for three things in mind. One is machine learning, so it's got really efficient machine learning on it for inference. It's got enough memory for the latest wireless standards, especially Matter, which is about to go big, needs a lot of memory on there. Third thing is a lot of our customers are trying to put their applications onto the chips as well. It's like a one chip in the system instead of an MCU and a wireless chip sitting next to each other. So that XG26 really services that need.
And I'm hearing a lot of that actually at the show about the levels of integration, to try and minimize real estate, cost, power, and also power consumption.
There's a ton of reasons. I mean, integration's been the history of the entire semiconductor industry. Yeah. So we're seeing the convergence of wireless and compute and sensing and machine learning and security all together on one chip. Not just for functionality, but it's easier in some ways to build a product. It's one code base to secure, for example, or it's a smaller real estate on the design. So a lot of designs are getting smaller and smaller. It's lower power. There's a bunch of good reasons for doing that.
Now, machine learning, I mean, a lot of the attention has gone to the inference, the training and whatever, but how much can you go on the device in terms of inference and activity around that intelligence?
I mean, our goal is to put inference on a battery. That is not an easy thing to do still, even today, and we're working our way, down that path. But how would you do wake word detection on a coin cell battery? That's the kind of thresholds we're trying to push.
And are you seeing a lot of that around the show, or your partners, your customers?
Absolutely. Competitors, others as well trying to do this. It's a market need, not a Silicon Labs, pushing a tool to the market that people don't want. There's basic applications. Anomaly detection is one of those, and there's more advanced ones with audio systems or even lightweight video systems that are out there trying to do people counting. Maybe not facial recognition on an MCU, but they can count people for sure. Yeah. Those kind of things.
And now, I think you've had quite a lot of announcements over the last few months. Are there any key highlights that you want to talk to our audience about?
Sure. So we announced partnership with Arduino, really trying to make that more scalable, more accessible for IoT. That's something we're always trying to do. Some wireless companies really only want to sell to a couple of customers. We want to sell to everybody. So partnerships with like Arduino are a big deal way to do that. We're pushing state-of-the-art security technology into our chips down at the hardware level. That's something we're going to keep saying year by year by year, but security in the IoT is not just important for protecting data, but for scalability of all that. New wireless standards like the new Matter standard that's coming out, that's like the XG26 is really built for. Yeah. You'll see more of that coming. And then there's still a proliferation of wireless technologies, like Sidewalk for Amazon is starting to get bigger. And so we're going to be launching more products around that.
Yeah, and I mean, the Matter launch was a big thing, I think, a couple of years ago. I think you've got some real stuff now, haven't you?
Yeah. So it's entering the mainstream. So technology standards, when they're built, don't move fast, right? How many years did it take for Wi-Fi to get fully embedded into computing ecosystems? It took a little while. So Matter's getting big now. And we just recently announced our new generation of products that we call Series 3. So that's well underway for us. It's just the next generation of integration, of security, of wireless technology, of multi-radio capabilities that our current generation's not so good at.
And I know from previous conversations with you, you love technology, and you've got it embedded into your life as well. But what are the things that we can expect over the next year that sort of really are exciting?
Well, I think how we engage with technology is changing. We're moving from screens to other interfaces. That's going to be nice. I personally don't like using a screen for everything. Although I look at that Vision Pro, it's sitting on the face. We'll see how that goes. But the rich interfaces are really coming. A little bit more intelligence into those applications about what you're trying to do and what you're asking. Recently, like my Alexa, when I talk to it, it knows me now. Alexa, what's the weather? Hi, Daniel. The weather is this, right? Versus my kids. So that was kind of fun. So I think just we're seeing the maturity of IoT and cloud connectivity into embedded come to fruition. And so, the barrier's low, people can add this stuff, it doesn't break the cost or the power budget like it used to, and it's really going everywhere.
And I think security is one thing. There's the CRA in Europe, and then there's the US regulations as well. How is that going to affect your customers?
Well, they've always known security was going to come. Yeah. Here it is. Yeah. Fortunately, we have a lot of great tools for them to build their product, to certify their product, to maintain it in the field. So if you're trying to manufacture, develop, maintain, deploy, it's way easier than it was 10 years ago. It was very impossible, I would say, 10 years ago for someone to do that. Hard 5 years ago, not so hard today. It's really, do they want to do it early in their development, or are they trying to turn security on at the end, which they shouldn't do. They should develop it early. But I really welcome this as a consumer. I want my data protected. Our customers are now putting very valuable IP onto those edge node devices that they do not want taken off. Algorithms, machine learning weights. Imagine spending tens of millions of dollars in the cloud on GPUs training an algorithm, and someone buys a $1 MCU and swipes the weights. That'd be terrible, right? So you get a lot of benefits once you kind of put the security in, but it's a step function in. Everybody has to pay that.
Well, Daniel, thank you very much.
Thank you, Nitin.